It's coffee talk time. Hello, friends. Greetings on this Sunday morning from Durham, North Carolina. I'm sitting at my system so I can try to talk to you if you're going to join live. Try to say hi in the chat box. What I have to do is set up my second device to be able to see the comments as they come through because somehow, some way, whenever I do it like this online, I'm not always able to see the comments on the live on Facebook. So what I'm going to do is make sure I get to see it if you're going to share some comments on my phone. Otherwise, I'd be outside listening to the birds and all the sounds of nature. But it seems when I'm hardwired in and I have my phone, I get the best connection with you all. So welcome. Welcome to our Sunday morning coffee talk. I'm Trisha Becker, and I always like when you're joining in and saying hi. So if you do hop on this coffee talk live, say hi in the comments. If you're watching a replay, say hi in the comments anyways. So the name of the game is connecting with community and having a chat. It's all the C's. And we're adding today all levels of consciousness because what I realized when I started these coffee talks in the winter is that I just want to connect with people who want to talk about this stuff. And not everybody lives in my area. Not everybody's in my neighborhood. Not everybody can just join me in my living room for a half hour chit chat. You have those friends where you just want to go get a cup of coffee, you catch up and you part ways, and you don't need a lot of coordination. It's off the cuff, and that's kind of what I wanted to do when I set these up. And I personally have a thing for coffee mugs. I love special coffee mugs. So let me see. Oh, Luna's saying hello. This is my pup. She hasn't gone out for her walk yet today. My son is taking her. So let me see who is saying hello, and good Sunday morning to you. I don't know if anybody's watching in the middle of the night in Australia or New Zealand, but welcome, welcome. Hey, Erit, and hey, Stacy and Jan. Yay. Hi, SD. Coffee talkie time with Luna the dog. So she likes getting in on the action. Aren't they just, this infinite being of love and light? She has the softest ears ever. This is the best. And she got a trim last week, so she looks super skinny. But what I was talking about was like my favorite mugs is I have these morning rituals. And of course, it always includes something that I'm going to drink, whether it's water or coffee or tea. And I think it might have been in January when I was just realizing I just want to hang out with you people. If I could just get all of you in my living room and we just talk, I mean, we would probably not just be here for a half hour, but I love my mugs. So I thought, why don't we just make it around something, I call it coffee talk because of, Saturday Night Live. But I have all these mugs that I actually just love. So today's mug is the forecast for today is mostly magical with a chance of miracles. And where I am in North Carolina right now, this is really full. We've been getting an excessive amount of rain. And outside of flooding and problems and all of that, there's always a rainbow. And I saw one yesterday, and my son was in the car with me, and I even said, what is it about rainbows? They still take my breath away no matter how many rainbows I will see in my life. Each and every time I see a rainbow, it takes my breath away. It's so magical. So, of course, I picked the mug with the rainbows on it. So, what do you have? Coffee bean earrings yesterday. Oh, how fun. And drinking hazelnut coffee with Raider. Raider's your pup, or is that a cat? You're it. So, today's topic for coffee talk, because we're focusing on the C's. I realized I do this all the time. I just see patterns, and it's coffee talk. My goal of creating coffee talk like this is so we can connect and create community, right? Connect, create community. It's so important to have people in your life who want to talk about the stuff you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be your partner. It doesn't have to be your family. When we actually intentionally engage with community, that it just expands our hearts. And we raise each other up. We hold each other in this vibration of what we're choosing and where we're choosing to focus. So when I started this work specifically that I'm doing in this way now, just over 4.5 years ago, everything was online. It was like just post-COVID lockdown. And I mean, lots of people were still in lockdown. It was coming and going all over the world. So we were all online. And it just became normal to have conversations online. And then when the world opened up again and it was decreased our online interactions, people getting back out in the world again, I just looked at the world differently and I was like, oh, I don't really relate to people in the same way anymore. I mean, I think COVID changed a lot of us in a lot of different ways. Cuppa, you got your cuppa, Jeannie? Is that going to be with your whipped cream? Yeah. Oh, God's promise is hope. German Shepherd is your pup. How sweet, Eric. German Shepherds are like literally a gift. They're really, really smart, really beautiful, and really committed to supporting who their I don't want to say owner, who their partner in the world is, right? So as you grab your cuppa, whatever, could be coffee today, and thinking about your community and how you're connecting. And here's more C's for you. Today's letter of the day is C. Not only are we choosing to connect outside of ourselves with community and this external experience of holding a beautiful coffee mug, talking to friends, pups, dogs, birds, plants, people you just see in passing. The goal of today's chat for me is so I can share with you something that is now going to be at the forefront of everything I teach. As I evolve in 4.5 years of doing this specific work around consciousness, levels of consciousness, I evolve, I expand, I connect in a different way, and I see images in my brain, and it helps me process information. It helps me learn. I'm a very visual learner, so I need symbols, I need shapes, I need process, and I'm a very three-dimensional learner where I need to do and touch. So all these processes, when I was teaching jewelry making, when I was teaching yoga, when I was teaching Reiki, all these different things that I teach, now I'm teaching people how to connect to different levels of consciousness. So what I created is a triangle based on my mentor's work, and we use a lot of triangles and a lot of sacred geometry, two-dimensional, of course, pyramids if you're going to go three-dimensional or higher. But when I realized that we could format it in a way where we see levels of consciousness, and it becomes a connection with yourself. So that's really the goal. So if you're into it and you want to do it, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and I'm going to guide you how to draw this. What I realized when I was teaching this I have a group coaching program called The Art of Alchemy. If you want to get in and hang out with amazing community that's around the world, we meet twice a week. And it's actually a really reasonable price if you want to get in on it for 8 sessions a month with this amazing international community. I think we have over 11 countries that have connected in this phenomenal group of people. And it's not just about me. We're all elevating and growing and expanding together. I'm the guide. I bring the information. I create the container. But what I've seen people coming and going over the years, because you get lifetime access, is when you join, we're elevating together, we're expanding together. So what I realized, this is the entirety of what I teach. It's all in one little drawing with 3 colors. You might not be able to see the yellow highlighter too well, but this is it. And these are different levels of consciousness. So if you're in, get that. Commitment next week. Oh, is that another C? Oh, so much more information. I'm seeing some of your names come up. So much more information evolving this week. We're finalizing all of the details around our Creative Alchemy event, another C, Creative Alchemy event in October in Durham, North Carolina. So if you've registered, you're going to be getting lots more details as it unfolds this week, where we're concretizing the plan and getting you more and more information as it evolves. Anyways, back to levels of consciousness. The other level, letter C for the day. When you connect with yourself, you might hear all these words like infinite, light, love, God-like consciousness, Christ-like consciousness, all of that. Your shadow, your inner child, your anger, your frustration, your wound, your joy, your happiness, whatever it may be, you're connecting with different parts of yourself. Now, to simplify these definitions, and everything I start with is all about definitions, we must have common language when we create a container to grow and expand together, right? So this picture, if you'd like, draw a triangle, and on one side you're going to put the word un, because this is unconscious, and on the other side you're going to put self, which is self-conscious. That's the bottom of the triangle. Super is superconscious. Superconscious, I'm going to fold now, because this is really where you want to practice focusing. This is the only thing people aren't doing to elevate and expand in their lives. This is where we all get stuck. I do, you do, my mentors do. I know even Tony Robbins does, because he's been divorced twice and on his third marriage and still having children. Everybody gets stuck here. Everybody. Everybody. I'm sure the Dalai Lama even still experiences this because he's a human. What we must practice when you're trying to get out of this cycle, and I'll explain it more. The unconscious part of us is before 8 years old. We learn a lot of information. Some say even over 50% of our patterns come from before we can even speak, pre-verbal. And I say, let's say it's before 8 years old, because you're not quite independent. You're not independent at all. You're very dependent on others, but you actually don't have any active memory of what you're learning. You don't remember learning how to feed yourself, how to toilet yourself, how to speak, how to react, how to create emotions, how to form words. I mean, you might have some childhood memories, but we don't remember all of these systems that we use. You don't remember how to crawl, to walk, to stand, to run. You don't remember how we trained ourselves to do that, but we did. So those patterns run our lives. You don't remember how to stand up and get out of bed and not fall over. Like, you trained yourself to do that as a child. That's all unconscious patterning, which sticks with us. It stays with us forevermore. Always, 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 always. So let's just call the unconscious, we are unaware of the patterns that we assimilated in our lives for survival. It's all about survival, okay? And then we go over to self-conscious. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for joining in. Good morning. This self-conscious is 8 years old to now as a human. Self-conscious is rooted in judgment, quality of things, good, bad, right, wrong, happy, sad, abundance, lack, peace, war. It's all about these contrasts of, and I'll just say good or bad. Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad? Or is that right or wrong? Is that right or wrong? Are those people fat or are they too skinny? It's all this judgment and contrast. And most of us are obsessed with that. We get to this obsession level. But what we're actually always in the self-conscious period trying to resolve are these unconscious beliefs we have about ourselves. It's just an amazing system. When you break it down and we just go, oh, my judgment of self, others, and the world, I'm just going to keep trying to resolve this stuff that I learned. That's all. I'm just going to keep trying to resolve this. But what happens is we never experience success, because this is a structure called oscillation. And we just live here, most people, until this red spiral comes into your life. And you go, oh my gosh, there's more. This was me when I learned how to meditate. It's like, I could get out of this cycle. And then you go, I can experience the magic of this blissful state connected to the infinity of the universe. Joe Dispenza calls this the infinite. It's the infinite oneness with the all and the everything. It does take time to practice this connection, but there's many, 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 many different ways to do it. People dance, yoga, breath work. My love is meditation. I love swimming, hiking, hugging trees, hugging my kid, hugging my dog. Not always my dog. She's high energy, that's for sure. But it's always available. It's always accessible. This is an infinite part of who we are all the time. But what happens is we stay on this lower level trying to resolve a belief that was created before 8 years old, whether it's a belief about self, others, or the world. And all you really need to do, I mean, in short, the reason why I wanted to show you all this is because I realized this is the entirety of what I teach. This is the entirety of understanding how to get to the highest level in your life, the most expanded version of yourself. You must connect with yourself on all levels of consciousness. What do you think? Does it break it down as easy as possible? Like, could it get any easier than this image? For me, I'm all about teaching simplicity. I teach teeny tiny steps on how to get you what you want. And I promise, there's very few things I say I will guarantee, and I promise. When you understand this system and you continue to practice this spiral upwards, you will get what you want. That's the name of the game in life, right? Let's have everybody get what they want. So I've been doing this process and understanding this system my whole life. But now I have a symbol for it. Now I have imagery and I build it. So you start with the triangle, unconscious, self-conscious, spiral, this spiral, you got to move, elevate yourself up into your superconscious and understand that this part of us must exist. It created who we are. We can't get rid of this, and you don't want to. You don't want to forget how to use the bathroom or digest food or eat food or hate your mouth. I mean, as a kid, you ever see kids eat and they don't hit their mouth? You don't want to go out to a restaurant and not know where your mouth is to feed yourself, or how to get up and walk to the bathroom when you need to, or how to cry when you feel emotions, or how to laugh and giggle and hug and love and be passionate and excited and playful. And you also don't want to lose your self-consciousness, your judgment, because if you walked across the street and got ran over by a bus, superconscious says that's perfect. You don't want to not know how to put out a fire. You got to go find the fire extinguisher, put out a fire. That's judgment. You need it to survive. But what we're doing is we're just staying in these two levels. That's it. So I'm here to tell you there's easy ways to connect to your superconscious field. But you must know there's a level. Most people, when they're practicing, this was me, the first 10, 15 years I was meditating and obsessed with the law of attraction, I'd only go so far and go right back into that pattern. And then here's the other part. When you get this, let's see, where's my red? When you really, really get this, what happens is you realize you can be really happy down here too. That's a smiley face. It's a funny looking smiley face, but that's it. Oh, Jeannie said, I wonder where she gets that from. It's the overexcited dog you're talking about, huh? They do say dogs are like their owners, right? True that. So, you know, when I meditate, she can be chilled next to me because she's vibing off my energy, right? All right, so now the last thing we're going to do for our coffee talk today is, as we connect to levels of consciousness, this is a simplified version of 3 levels of consciousness. There's more. But for your basic foundational understanding of how to connect to what you love, what you want in life, let's do this. See, I don't have a board. I always draw on paper. And for me, it just allows me to be on my couch. This is what you love. This is what you love, 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 love. Just connect to what you love. Not the things you desire. That's the next step. But if you're going foundational premises of what I rely on every day to create the life that I choose, it's this. And I remind myself of this every day. So here, let me give you an example. We all go through crazy periods in life where things happen, right? So a couple months ago, I didn't put it all together until I saw it over and over again. I was having, I have somehow, some way created some phenomenal electrical challenges in my life. I got a new phone, and a week later I dropped it, broke the back of my cell phone. And I was like, I'm not replacing the phone again. It's not functional. It's just aesthetic. Like it just doesn't look as pretty. Then my dryer broke. I have an electric dryer. Dryer broke. And I fixed it once last year or a year and a half ago or something. And I was like, all right, I'll fix it again. Then something, my lawnmower broke. That's a gas system, but it's a motorized mechanical system. My lawnmower broke. This is like about a month or 2 ago. I'm going, wow, this is a lot of things in my life that keep falling apart and breaking. Then my car died. My Jeep, all these electrical systems, and it's still in the mechanic shop. It keeps coming and going because they can't figure out exactly what it is. I'm like, wow, this is a lot of stuff, like just blipping apart in my life. And then in the meantime, you know, we had all these massive storms where I am in North Carolina. A tree fell on my fence. Luckily, my amazing landlord came over. He fixed the fence, got rid of the tree, and I'm going, wow, this is incredible. And then over the last week, I'm sitting here in my living room. Lights are flickering during another one of the storms. And then I have a bearded dragon, some of you may have seen. And then all of a sudden, the bulbs, he has 2 bulbs in his tank. Both bulbs just zapped and went at once. And I thought, wow, this is amazing to observe the systems that are kind of falling apart in my life. And I'm just watching it. The gift of what this gives you, this practice of rising up into what you love and into your superconscious field, when you practice this enough, you no longer react from here. You don't react to the environment and go, oh my God, my life. No, because I'm in creation. So I'm just focusing on what I love. And let me tell you, there's a lot of things going on in my life that I love. events and people and friends. And oh my gosh, the love is just phenomenally blowing up, exploding. It's just delicious in my life. Like, not blowing up in a way where it's like, but it actually is. If I even saying that out loud, it's like this system of connecting to what I love is actually shifting all of these old mechanisms. So it looks like disruption and patterns are falling apart in my life. But what you're actually doing, for any of you who might have car problems, you're actually just rising up into this. So you must shift this. But what we're usually doing is trying to hold on for dear life to all these systems. And you just can't. You just can't. You can't take everything from this into this when you're actually here. So this must change. I mean, I'm giving you the entirety of how to create your reality in less than 20 minutes. Because it's this. So, talking to another one of my amazing clients. Hey, Nicole, good to have you on here. Car kept breaking down, didn't faze me. Yep, relating. Yeah, showed you your strengths. Exactly. And I'm like, all right, rental car. Friends are helping. Yay. This is the only thing you're not doing. If you're stuck here in pain and suffering and pain and suffering, oh, look, the hearts are upside down in a perfect way. This is just where you're stuck. This is what you're not doing enough of. It's connecting to what you love. Starts with mindfulness. My book, Mindful Minutes, it's on Amazon. It's also, if you want to get the Art of Meditation course, it's included in that. It's on my website, trishabecker.com, but this is the only thing you're not doing. This is connecting to what you love. This is hugging people you love, focusing on what you love, thinking about what you love. And there's the kid that I love walking into the room, coming to get Luna to take her for a walk. You want to say hi? Here, this is the one that I love. Yeah, look at those freckles. You know, so if anybody ever hears me talk about my son, he's like, too old for that, Mom. Thank you for taking for a walk. Yeah, and Luna. When I focus on what I love, one of the things that I can do is think about that kid's freckles, because he's an amazing human being. Thanks for saying hi, honey. This is the only thing you're not doing. It's focusing on what you love, mindfulness, intentional awareness of where you're putting your energy. And see, my energy just shifted too. That's it. My friends are saying hi to you. Jan in Canada saying hi. You'll meet her some. You met her online, I think, at some point. So cheers to all levels of consciousness as you create a chance of miracles today. Mostly magical. What do you think? If you go open the back door, she'll probably follow you. Call her, and or maybe find a treat in one of the containers for her. Luna clearly doesn't want to leave the living room because it's just so much fun in here, creating these connections with you all. So levels of consciousness is the name of the game. You must practice this. This is really the only thing that matters. And there's so many ways to do this. Like I said, hug a tree, go swimming, sing a song, dance, yoga, meditate, call a friend, text me. I love the messages you all share with me. And some of you just say, hey, I just want to say I love you. And it's like, oh my gosh, once I realized, I was like, if I'm feeling lonely, I just text 10 people. And you know what is really funny is my wounding, this part of me, this unconscious part, there's a part of the inner child of me that says I'm unlovable. So not true. I know that logically, but the inner child wound, when it gets activated, is nobody loves me and nobody's there for me. It's old story from childhood, right? When I had a brother who died when I was younger than 3 and my parents emotionally checked out and became unavailable. Like, the inner child, that little me, didn't know, and it was just like, hello, who's here for me? So I created a definition of I'm not lovable based on my unconscious experience in childhood. It's not true, but it's still part of who I am. So when that belief system kicks in, I'm like, no, not true. We take a different action. You follow through, connect into your superconscious, do what you love. I text 10 people, and almost always within 5 minutes, 7 people reply. And I'm like, I am so loved. I am so loved. So, hey, Swan, good to have you here. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for joining in. What do you love? How do you connect to what you love? You must find that practice for yourself. And I promise you it's enough. As you start this momentum, think of the spiral as it goes up and up and up. That's what I want. When you're here, it becomes easier to take action because we do have to pay the bills or get the car fixed or go. Oh, and then the other kicker, I got lights for the lizard yesterday, my lizard stick. Don't you know I came home and these bulbs that are so expensive, both of them were broken. And I thought, this is incredible. What an incredible system to challenge my solidarity with myself and my superconscious and the magic of what I love. And when you practice this enough, you can come back here when this seems overwhelming. And you go, this is what I love. This is what I love. This is what I love. Because then the entirety of the system becomes efficient for you to live on all levels of consciousness. Wow. I just gave you everything I got. Just kidding. But this is what we do in my group coaching program. We consistently talk about how to maintain this level of consciousness that connects us to the magic of our lives, our inner genius, our power, those sensations that just give you this deliciousness of perfection and breath and spaciousness and love and connections with amazing people like you. So share with me if you can. What do you do to connect to what you love? What do you do? You've got to define it. So that's what you may not be able to see. I got my little yellow highlighter here. You probably can't see it just because of the lighting in here. These are arrows. I'm going to actually add with a little bit of red. You need to be able to do this. So these arrows are the last thing I'm going to give you today. You must define what these arrows are. There's a little bit of highlighter on it because I always like the yellow for like light. What are your arrows? What are your guiding systems for yourself to get you into your superconscious, into that expanded awareness of connecting to what you love? And go do that. For me, it's coffee talk today. Coffee talk and lots of other things. Oh, the magic of life. And you start to repeat these processes so you can maintain this and balance out the system so you can say, oh, it's just that stuff again. That's all. This is what I choose. I'm going to create a booklet just around this because, wow. Once I saw it like that, and it was like, that's it? That's all I got to do? Yes. There's one more layer to it called the subconscious, but it's informed by all of these, and it's just informed where you're putting the power, where you're putting the most energy, where you're putting the most of your focus and your awareness. And I want it to be here because these exist and they must, and you can't get rid of them, right? Music for it. Nice. Yeah. What else? What else do you do to rise into that space of, and I'm not even talking about, end results for those of you who know about choices, and that's the next step, but just connecting to what you love. Just connect to what you love. It could be, you probably didn't get to see my son's freckles, but gosh, he's got the best freckles. It's just, and he's got perfect little cheeks. Coffee, community, connecting with community like this. Go for a swim. Smell a beautiful flower like a gardenia. Oh, for those of you who have never smelled a gardenia before, you come here in North Carolina in the spring and the early summer and smell gardenias with me, you'd be like, oh, I get it. I get it. Art and dancing, Jeannie. Yes. We got a bunch of us need to go see some live music together. That's for sure. Painting in the rain, Swan. Yep. Camping at the beach and paddleboarding and biking and campfires and connecting with community. You got it, my friends. This is the magic. Practice this and you're going to experience a different level of your life instantaneously. It's then the piece becomes, where do you put your focus, your awareness, your energy, and your time so you can have more of what you love. Because that's really that's really what you want. It's the money, the car, the job, all that, but you want to be experiencing a life you love. So how about just go do the things you love? So I'm going to go hang out with my son and my dog, and we're going to go play out in the backyard, maybe even go for a swimming. Weaving. Oh my gosh, you got to send some pictures. I remember you talking about your loom weavers, wild roses and ocean breezes. Oh, that sounds like a really good, either like a band or a book or a story or a meditation. Snuggling with your cats. I have heard that cats, the purr that they emit is something that gives humans free electrons. Animals give us free electrons, which for the science geek in me, who was a science nerd for a long time, loves the concept of this quantum physics of energy, and that things that give us free electrons that are just free ranging energy that moves between systems in the world. We have free electrons, but sometimes we're less on them. And so we can actually attract them from other things. It's hugging trees, moving water, purring cats. And I truly believe live music does it. Yeah, dancing in Durham coming up, right? So I've got a lot of fun events going on this week. So if you're in the area, Tuesday, July 15th, I will be at New Earth Energies in Wake Forest saying hi, talking about the art of intuition that I'll be teaching live in person. We need a minimum registration. So if you want to learn how to do some phenomenal processes, it's this times 20 to learn how to connect into your intuition to really choose this and understand this. The art of intuition starts July 23rd, I want to say, 25th, in person in Wake Forest, North Carolina. This week on Tuesday, I am going to be in person explaining the course and the program at New Earth Energies. I'm hosting a set of 3 master classes. We had the first one last week. The second one is this week on July 17th, and you'll have forever more access to the recording. So if you want in on that, it's called The Art of Choosing to Recode and Rewire Your Structure. That's the basis, again, and the foundations of explaining this in its entirety and how to navigate this more frequently and how to understand this and get out of this cycle of just staying down there in pain, suffering, and anguish. And that's a phenomenal gift because I'm giving a lot of extra bonuses and meditations and guidebook. There's a workbook. It's 2 hours a week, but you get lifetime access to the recordings. It's $47, and it really is. If you repeat just the 6 hours of education that I'm giving, you will have everything that I teach. It's in the group program. It's the foundations of it. But it's up to you if you choose to repeat it or not over and over and over again on your own. And that's why having these communities where you're part of a collective, where everyone, and that's why I do these coffee talks. How do we stay together in community to elevate together? It's a choice. It's a commitment. And obviously there's a value exchange. What I love is being able to offer the space for people to do that. So that's going on this week. And then I'm going to be launching Art of Intuition in September. Maybe the end of August we'll start it. It's a 5-week course online if you want to do it online. We learn how to intuitively read this invisible field of information. Some of you have taken it. It's really fun. And then thanks, SD. Thanks for joining in. Trees, moss, water cats, Jan, you have so much stuff. Yeah, bring something special for me in October. Stacy, yay, when you come for the event. What else is going on? All right, Creative Alchemy. If you want to hang out with a lot of people in community doing this work together with me and 2 other amazing, magical, phenomenal powerhouses, Darcy Volden and Tracy Reiferscheid and I are hosting an event in Durham, North Carolina in October called Creative Alchemy. We will be giving you our all to get you to this place where this is your experience. But you understand this must exist. We're going to be teaching intuitive processes. It's 2 full days of engaging in community and connecting. It's going to be absolutely off the hook amazing. What we're also bringing in is our ability to understand how we create connection and community on all levels of consciousness. It's not just about this 2-day event. We're actually going to have Zoom sessions beforehand so we can all get to know each other and everybody gets to know each other. So then when you're in person, we even amp up the connections even more. And if you've ever been to an event or a seminar or a class in person and you get all excited and you're all jiving and grooving and full of love and passion, and then it's like your balloon gets deflated when you get home. We're not going to let that happen. We're hosting Zoom connection sessions afterwards. So everyone can stay in this beautiful container of the community we're creating on all levels of consciousness with your coffee. So that's coffee talk for the day. If you want more information about any of these events, classes, courses, coffee, mugs, this is rooted in A Course in Miracles. That's where I got this. Just send me a message and or post a comment wherever you're watching this. I love, love, love connecting and creating community like this. So thanks for being a part of my life. Absolutely love being able to see you all or see your names at least, see you all in person someday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or the day or the evening, wherever you are in the world. And remember, keep choosing this. You must find these arrows are How do you connect to what you love? And go do that. And go do that as often as possible. So I'm going to go hug my son and go play for the day. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you soon.